But there you go, the boys have won the league for the second season running. That's back-to-back titles with 3 games of the season remaining. We could still win the league by a clear 20 points. And what's more pleasing is, a lot of the games we've been playing recently, we've rotated the entire starting 11 due to the fact that we've had European games to play as well. So we've got strength in depth now, and our backup players are capable of beating some of the best teams in the league. If we show you our results since our last episode, we've only actually conceded once domestically. We've beaten Starbek 2-0 in the league and 6-0 in the cup. We conceded a goal against Vålerenga but still won the game before 3 1-0 victories, pretty much all with rotated first 11s there, and most recently a 2-0 victory against Odd. So we are looking in very strong form, but that's domestically. You came here to find out how we've been getting on in Europe. So the answer is, since the last episode, we've won 1 and we've lost 1. And considering the 2 games we've played, those results have probably come the way round that you would think. Going down 4-2 at Old Trafford is no disgrace. Manchester United are the reigning Champions League title winners. So that was always going to be a tough game. But we genuinely gave a decent account of ourselves. They scored very, very early. I abandoned our more cautious tactic and thought, right, I'm just going to go for it. And after 6 minutes, well, we got very excited because Christian Pettersson scored a pretty well-worked equaliser for us. And I thought, you know, the miracle could be on. But then Manchester United blitzed us with a couple of further goals. But we struck back instantly. Espen Larsen Pleem, who'd come on as a sub very early, even though he was carrying a knock, so that I could bring a second striker onto the pitch, headed home, and we were looking at going into half-time 3-2 down. Then in the second half, Christian Pettersson went through one-on-one and struck a post, and Espen Larsen Pleem probably had a better chance and didn't even hit the target at all, and we could have made it 3-3, but then Manchester United do what Manchester United do, and they scored a 4th with about 10 minutes left to play. But we gave a genuinely good account of ourselves in that game. But it meant going into the home game against Nordsjælland, well, the pressure was really on because they'd drawn against Manchester United and Milan. If they'd have beaten us, they would have been on 5 points, whilst we would have been on 0. But we went attacking and we blitzed them. We had to wait until the second half, but then we came alive and scored 3 really good, powerfully struck goals. Christian Pettersson got the first of them. He then raced through and blasted home a second. And then Morten Størvold popped up in the 80th minute and scored a very similar goal to the right of the box. He just thumped it past their keeper into the side netting. And we really did look good value for that win as well. So it means that it's left the table with us having a chance of scraping into that top 2, certainly a chance of finishing 3rd. We've got to get the job done away in Denmark today, and that will put us on 6 points before both Milan and Manchester United visit the Arctic Circle. And we're getting into November now, so it's not going to be the most hospitable environment for them. So we may be away today against Nordsjælland, but we're just going to go with our more gung-ho tactic. We're going to play the 4-4-2, the 2 advanced forwards, Pettersson and Larsen Pleem. We're going to have Størvold as our wide playmaker. It's the normal midfield 4. We've got our defence that is as strong as we can make it. Jawad, the Arctic Tiger, Tromsdalen, and this young pup, Vegard Jorgensen, who's going to be an attacking wing-back for us. And I think he's not a million miles away, you know, from becoming as good as the Ting was when we ended up selling him. We've got a decent bench as well with Burnson, Ronigan, the Judge and Roy the Boy on there as well. Bit of a disappointing season for Roy the Boy, it has to be said, but he's a great player to have on the bench. I'd like to go out and blitz them like we did in the home tie against them. I feel it might not be quite as simple as that. They actually have some very good players of their own. In fact, they have players that are valued far more expensively than ours are. and they look like they can play a little bit as well. So this is not going to be easy, but if we can get the job done, we can dream of taking our European campaign past the Christmas break. Okay, we are underway, and this has the feel of a pretty huge game, this one. We are in all blue for today's encounter. If we could win it and get onto 6 points, well, that would be a huge step forward in trying to advance in Europe. If we lose it, we're going to be bottom of the table, and I think we're going to be struggling to even come third. Milan and Manchester United are going to be incredibly tough games. The Milan game, I do have half an eye on maybe being able to snag something. I don't think that they completely outplayed us in the San Siro. Manchester United, probably a little bit more so, but we've got to try and get the job done today. And twice they've got behind us in the opening 15 minutes, and that was a decent chance for them to take the lead. The highlight continues though, and we've got the little bit of space in behind them now, and we've gone wide. Skogvang Pedersen, he's got a couple to hit in the box, he's going in. Larsen Pleem strikes it against the defender, and what looked like a decent chance to them swung up the other end, and we had a decent effort of our own. We're now on the 20-minute mark, and we've got a corner. Can one of our centre-halves rein in with a goal? Trondagner Bratton gives it a go. It's young Jorgensen that has a little pop. Curly little effort, not that difficult for the keeper to save, but he's over a free kick now. He's slung one in, but we're getting countered on again, and Williams is quick, and our back line proves themselves not to be. He's gone a little wide, he's blasted it. Oh, that was a ferocious effort, and Monnier keeps it out, but this game is very end-to-end. If we could snag the first goal, it might just settle us down and give us something to defend, but the way the game's going so far, it looks like the Danes are more likely to make the breakthrough. We're straight into the highlights again. Skogvang Pedersen. Omar Bratton, we're into the box again. Oh, Pedersen has curled an effort. I thought that was going in. He's drifted wide of the post. Half an hour now, and Nordsjælland are coming at us again. They're down our right side. We've won the ball back. Jawad. Use it intelligently. He's given it to Bratton. He's gone over the top. Larsen Pleem's in. Mr. Europe. Mr. Europe strikes again, but the linesman's gone to have a look at it. I think this one's going to VAR. I didn't sense it was offside when the ball went through, but I think this one's getting chalked off. Oh, I thought we'd taken a dream lead. It wasn't even that tight. He's gone too early. With his pace, he could have just waited that split second longer. But that shows that we can get in behind them and take the chances if they come. It's corner time again. We've gone short. Kirkvold slung a ball over. It's not worked though, has it? And Jawad's going to pass the ball out to Jorgensen. They bypassed Jorgensen. It's gone to Sturvold. He's dinked one over and Pedersen's in, and now we've taken the lead. You can't chalk that one off for offside. Skogvang Pedersen comes in at the far post, nods a little ball down. And Christian Pedersen, who has stepped up this season, managed to fire the ball home. So he got 2 in the home game against Nordsjælland. He's just bagged his 3rd against them, and he scored against Man United at Old Trafford. So that's 4 Champions League group stage goals for a player who's still, 18 years old, I think. What a player he's been for us this season. Kirkvold, who we've switched, by the way, from being on a support duty to a defend duty as that deep-lying playmaker. And it's improved his performances a little bit because he wasn't playing well. I find that deep-lying playmaker role doesn't always get the highest ratings, but he's improved a little bit. Monnier has plucked one out of the air. And I think this highlight's going to continue. We've gone long. Pedersen, he's got Skogvang Pedersen with him. He's got Larsen Pleem up as well. Doesn't use him. Blasts it. Deflected. Behind for another set play. We're playing a lot better now. A second goal before half time would be Dreamland. And that was a good chance. Trondagner Bratton, I think, up from the back. Heads it wide. And we started this game a little bit shakily. Thankfully, that latter part of that first half, we performed a lot better. We've got to go in there, tell the lads not to get complacent, check on the fitness. Big 45 coming up. Okay, back underway for the second half. No fitness concerns, although performance-wise, Morten Sturvold pulling a 6.4 is not playing well. And with the judge on the bench and Roy the boy, we've got options if he doesn't improve his performance. We're slinging a set play in. Pettersson's now hit a post, I think. And we are looking good, but I think we need that second goal. Because when you're on top and don't score, you're inviting the opposition back into the game. Sturvold has contributed now. Plays a ball into the box. It leads to a Bratton shot. Charge down. We're controlling the game a little bit. Here's young Jorgensen. He could get a ball into the box here. Sling it in. He's giving it back to Sturvold. He's already been involved more in the first 3 minutes of this second half than I think we saw him in all of the first half. Jawad now rampaging forward. He's not the most attacking of fullbacks. He gives it to Bratton. That was actually a poor effort. I don't think the highlight's done though. And in fact, it's them that's got him behind us. Don't challenge in the box. They have. And we've got away with one at some point, you know, if it stays at 1-0. We might need to think about what we can do tactically to try and see out the game. Sturvold still on that 6.4. On the hour mark, we might think about changing it, you know. We're going to do that. I think Christian Berntsen as a wide midfielder could be the option we go for. Okay, the change is made. I've made this change a couple of times, you know, just using Christian Berntsen as a wide midfielder on support, protecting his fullback, just pottering around over on the right-hand side, and he's done pretty well at it. We could do with another performance from him today. We're on 65 minutes. Nordsjælland have got the ball. They're playing it around pretty effortlessly in front of our back four, and they've got him behind us, and Monnier makes a very smart stop, and I feel like the emphasis and the momentum has just shifted a little bit. And Nordsjælland have started to come into the game a little bit more. We didn't score the second goal when we were on top. And I'm fearing that we might be made to pay for it, you know. We've got Jawad, who they're saying to take off. But his fitness is no worse than 4 or 5 others. We're getting towards 75 minutes. I think it's time to look at both the tactics and the bench. See what we can conjure up. Okay, 15 to go. Change made up front. Espen Larsen Plien was not playing well. He was on a 6.5. We've brought Paul Runnigan on. Rather than an advance forward, we're playing him as a pressing forward. And I've noticed that Kirkvold is not playing well either. So I think that could be our final change. And we've been made to pay, you know. Because Nordsjælland were threatening and they've gone and equalised. And that changes the situation in the group considerably, and you've got to say they've been threatening for the last, 10-15 minutes or so, and we've not looked great. So we're going to make another change. I think the change we're going to make is to bring on Roy the boy and go back to 2 advanced forwards. Kirkvold is not playing well. Runnigan can play a playmaker role absolutely fine. We've got Roy Henriksen. He's not been brilliant, and his finishing is 10 this season. We've got the judge who can play up front. His finishing is worse. I think we're going to have to go with Roy the boy, aren't we? We're going to sling Roy on. We're going to go for an advance forward again. And we're going to see whether we can get to 85 minutes and have got ourselves back into the lead before we maybe change our mentality a little bit. We're racing towards that time now, and we haven't. And I think we need a win. Otherwise, we're looking at trying to get results, I think, against either Milan or Man United. So I'm going to tweak the tactics. I'm going to push on a little bit. Could come back to bite us. This could be the end of our European dream. Okay, final switch is made. Berntsen's come into the central midfield. Runnigan has gone out as an advanced wide player over on the right. But we don't have possession of the ball. Now we do. Here is Runnigan, so we've moved him up there. He's played a ball down the wing, but Hendrickson can't get onto it. We've got 2 minutes of normal time left. We're pressing, but not getting anywhere near them, and they've breezed through our midfield and got the ball out wide. They've slung it in, and we've gifted them. We've gifted them the win. And this is the end. This is going to be the end of the line, because it means that we're going to have to beat Milan or Man United to climb back ahead of them. We've given it away, and I said at 1-0. If you don't score when you're on top, it can come back to bite you, and it absolutely has. We're going to throw the kitchen sink at it, but I feel like our European dream is slipping through our fingers. Okay, we race our way into injury time. I've pushed everybody up. It's not even forced a highlight. This is just going to be the full-time whistle. And we just haven't been able to do it. We look so good against them at home. Maybe it was a mistake to play the same tactic against them away. We looked so good for an hour or so. And they scored twice in the final 13 minutes with throwing the water bottle. I don't care that it demotivates them. It just makes me feel a little bit better. But look at the group now. It leaves Nordsjælland on 5 points, us on 3. There's no way we're getting through as part of the top 2. I think we're going to be struggling to finish ahead of Nordsjælland now. Maybe this is the end of the line for our Sub-Zero heroes.